Hey, welcome to another video. Today I'm taking a look at 4 different tube screamers. 1 is an actual tube screamer and 3 are clones. Okay, so what do I have here? First off, I have the Ibanez tube screamer, the TS808, which is built like a tank and it costs a ton of money. I've reviewed this already and it sounds fantastic. Then I have the Joyo Vintage Overdrive, which is a clone of the tube screamer. Now this I got for roughly 20 euros, slightly more in dollars, so it's something like $24 I think. So it's way cheaper than this one, because this one costs $150. Now I've reviewed this as well, and it sounds very good. It'll be interesting to see how it stacks up against the tube screamer. Then I have the CLONES Overdrive, which was also under 20 euros. I think it was 17 euros, so it would be roughly $20 or something like that. This one is the lightest of the bunch. It feels a bit flimsy actually. And then I have the ES9 by Eno. This is the lightest of the bunch, but it's also the smallest. It feels nice. The switch is okay. The knob feels quite good. And yeah, be interesting to see how these stack up against each other. This one I bought together with another pedal. This one was roughly 15 euros. So again, around $20. So all of the other ones are really cheap and the tube screamer is expensive. Should you shell out a ton of money for a tube screamer, or should you maybe look for a clone? We'll find out soon enough. I'll get these hooked up and then we'll start. Alright, so now I have everything hooked up and I'll start off with the tube screamer, the actual Ibanez that is, and I have everything set to 12 on all of the pedals. But before I start, I'm using a custom mahogany Strat with Seymour Duncan YJM Furies, going into a Marshall 1987X, going into a cab with greenbacks, a Marshall cab. I have a fractal audio for some delay, and here's what the clean signal sounds like. The Marshall is never entirely clean. So, I'll start off with the Ibanez tube screamer, and that sounds like this. Very nice. Then we have the Joyo. Interesting. Then the CLONES Overdrive. And then last, and well, it's sorry to say the least, because it's the smallest one, is the ES9, the Eno. All right, the Eno ES9 is clearly slightly different to the other 3. I think the other 3 are very similar. Now I'll just turn, drive and level on all of the pedals up to 3 o'clock and see what happens. Alright, starting off with the tube screamer again. okay, this time around the Eno isn't that much different anymore, so it's just that the knobs react differently on the Eno to the other ones. They're sounding remarkably similar. Oh, this is a tough one. I'm gonna turn everything up full except for the tone. I'll keep that on 12 o'clock on all of the pedals and see how they compare. Okay, so starting off again with the Tube Screamer, then the Joyo, then the Nux, and then the Eno. My playing is falling to pieces. And then the Nux. And lastly, the Eno. Okay, so the Eno seems to have the least gain, and the Eno, because it's a mini pedal, I was kind of hoping that that would be the best one, because small on a pedal board is usually quite good. Less is more. Wait, who said that? Oh yeah, Yngwie Malmsteen. No, he didn't say that. But it's my least favorite of the bunch. The other three, they're really interesting. I'll skip the Eno, I don't like that, and just compare the Tube Screamer with the Joyo with the Nux. Now, I also have a slight boost from a Boss Hyperfuzz just to give me a bit more lift, because I know Tube Screamers don't give the amount of gain that I usually want. So I'll just engage that and then switch between the three pedals and play and see what I think. So again, starting with the Tube Screamer. They're really very similar. There's something slightly different about the Nux, the Tube Screamer, Ibanez. I don't know if this is just kind of because I know the prices of these and I kind of have preconceived notions. I don't know if that makes me like the Tube Screamer more, but it's the difference is very, very small. I don't know. Try a bit more, and it might be that I'll listen back to this and come to some kind of a conclusion based on what I listen to, the actual recorded audio, because that is often gives kind of a different picture as to when you're playing. But playability is great on all of these. It really is not much of a difference at all. I have a slight preference for the Tube Screamer, but like I said, that might just be kind of a preconceived notion of some sort. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I'll try one more thing. I'll put the tone control on all of these. I've had it at 12 now. I'll put that up to 3 o'clock and see how the pedals compare. Okay, so tone at 3 o'clock, and I'll use the boost as well. There's not a lot in it. Really hard to say. I like the Tube Screamer slightly more than the others. Still, same thing. I might have preconceived notions. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments, because that's basically all I have for you today. I'll end by playing a bit on each of the pedals still, and yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll put some kind of subtitle on this if when I listen back to this, come to a different conclusion. But if you liked the video, please press like, and like I said, feel free to give me your thoughts, and subscribe if you haven't already, and please feel free to support me on Patreon, because I buy the gear that I review. I'm not going to do a review on the Eno because I don't like it, and I don't know if the company is big or small, and I don't like to say bad stuff about small companies. Big companies, they can take it. If the Ibanez was crap, I'd say it, but it's really very good. That's also the sturdiest of the bunch, so if you want something reliable, I'd say go for the Tube Screamer, but then again, it costs a ton more than the other pedals. Now, you can get one of the cheaper pedals, you can get 10 of those cheaper pedals and compare it to one Tube Screamer. So you could have 10 Tube Screamer clones in a row. That would sound awesome. Probably not. Yeah, but like I said, support me on Patreon if you feel like it. I would be much obliged. You get cool stuff there when you do. Now, that's all for today. Thank you very much. This is turning into a ramble, so I'll leave you with some playing. Thank you. Bye bye. Yeah, that was turning miserable, so I'll just stop. See you. Bye!